Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here with day 2, game 2 between No Org and Evil Geniuses Prodigies here at Challengers Uprising. My name is Matt Iberican Daniel, joined here still by Thomas, TJ, James, and TJ, what you doing there, bud?
What do you think this is?
So that to me looks like, and I'm realizing now as I see you on the bigger screen, it's not, but I'm going to go with it anyways. Did you ever have textbook covers in school?
Oh yeah, that you would wrap around the
little
front of like a textbook or a binder and cover everything.
So we had a school store that sold them. So there was like a black market for them.
Those were really messed up because the school store, I was like in middle school or high school, and they would like charge you $60 if you banged up your textbook.
Anyway, wasn't quite that authoritarian, but what
no.
is it?
So that's the thing. That's just the thing. I do not know. I genuinely do. So this is an article of clothing. We'll start there. One of my family members in England lives in Yorkshire, which is very cold. And she operates a store that sells winter clothing, among other like outdoor stuff. It's like a small family-owned REI type deal. This is an advertisement. This is a convoluted advertisement for her shop. If any of you are in Filey, check it out. Anyway, So what you do, apparently, according to the diagram that I threw away and am now regretting, is it can be multiple things. It can be a scarf. You can put it around your neck like a scarf. You can stretch it up and it will be a bandana that covers your face. Or you could wear it around your head as a sweatband. So I guess the answer is a thneed. And if anyone would like it, I'd really like to get it off my hands. Welcome to game 2. So that filled 30 seconds. It's EG Prodigy versus No Org.
TJ doesn't love his grandmother, and we're seeing that No Org has banned away, or EGP actually have banned away the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, real important to get that Twisted Fate off our screens after Fire absolutely dominated the map with it last time. My follow-up question is how many jungle bans come from Prodigies? So far
0.
Way less. It was 5 last time. 5 junglers that were banned out by Evil Genius Prodigies over the course of our pink ban. As we load in here, it's time to see what changes. No Org turn their attention toward that bot lane, getting rid of Kai'Sa. Towards the top lane, getting rid of the Camille, taking away the Star Pinks for EG.
Really proud of Evil Geniuses for their adaptation and draft, because they said, you know what? We banned out 5 junglers and it didn't work. So let's just not bother this time. And I respect that.
I think it's the right thing to do. When you have one player whose champ pool is that broad, there's absolutely no reason to start taking risks. Or to take risks on everyone else getting powerful champs, on everyone else getting their ideal champs, by leaving every pool open except for one player who you're hoping you're going to be able to contain. It almost never works.
Hey, Udyr. I like him. He's cool. He's got like a bear suit going on.
Is that your contribution?
Yeah, it's my analysis.
All right. I'm going to say that it's real important. Hands. That's true. It's real important that Dorito, I would jump on that. It's important that Tobio's getting a jungler pick here because he was basically the early game bridge from Evil Geniuses. He is who's going to focus on farming, get out, hope to be an early teamfight impact. I'm very curious to see how an Udyr will play into that playstyle. We talked a lot for No Org about how their bottom lane is kind of an island at its weak side. Senna sure fits into that value, can sit tight on the Senna, play safe, not take any risks, have the extra heal, be a second support in team fights, and scale into decent amounts of damage. And there is the carry. No Org play through their jungle, play through Anda, and they've got an Olaf for him now.
Really strong early game jungler, and to go back to the Udyr, because they really did skip over it. So the reason I said he has Dorito hands, TJ, is because in the black belt skin, his Q gives him little Dorito fingers coming out. And that's really cool. Only in Tiger stance, though, so I think you should never use that skin because it's garbage. But the reason Udyr's been popular is because he just got like so many buffs in a row, and then they finally touched his move speed and everyone realized, hey, he's basically a very slow AoE stun. Because if you just let him run around, he'll stun everyone in turn just by tapping him.
He's the Aurelian Soul Star Surge, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Not up on my ability.
Just very slowly.
Very slow.
He plays freeze tag, and it's really good.
Interesting to note, Zoe stolen away here. That's essentially a second ban towards Fire. Aspect does have a good Zoe, but you're kidding yourself if you don't think that they are very deliberately taking that away from Fire. Fire responds with actually one of Aspect's favorite picks. It's going to be a Galio hitting the mid lane for no org.
It's a really strong pick into basically any AP mage, because while the early laning can be a little bit rough because you're just playing melee into ranged, you have so much defenses provided by the W. You have your shielding on top of it. It's just a great time once you get out of lane, and especially it allows them that access that No Org found so much success with last game. Instead of a TF, you're going to have to ult to a target.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they're going to be able to follow through on that, because it builds a promise to me of this Olaf's going into the front of the fight, the Galio was following it up, and Fire as the 1-2 punch. But the question mark is what's in the top lane, because I want to see hard engage from Viper in that top lane, building the bridge for that, because Olaf just running at people doesn't work super great, especially when you have a really good AD carry, which EG do.
I was actually going to say, wow, this Tahm Kench ban really works there, because you don't want to give away Tahm Kench Senna. It's not a Tahm Kench, it's a Vayne. Don't worry about it.
It's a Vayne ban because one of the champions that Viper has been playing a lot of is Vayne top.
I hate that, man.
You played Quinn top, so it's actually illegal.
But Quinn's
for you
a
to
top
play.
laner. She's supposed to be up there, okay? She's supposed to be up there. She was born there. She was raised in the alcove.
You still suck as a human being if you are playing.
I also
Quinn
play
top.
Shaco, so I'm aware of this. I already know
rest
that.
my case.
But at least I don't play Vayne.
At least you don't play Zoe mid. There are options.
There you go.
We will close out our second ban phase. It's Shen taken away by No Org as they are limiting the options of their own top laner here. I'm trying to work out what it is they think EG are up to. It is worth noting that Shiro doesn't have the consistent sustained damage of an Aphelios or something like that he normally loves, sitting on the Ezreal instead. And I'm curious what that implies for the rest of the team. We get Gnar instead for Viper, one of Viper's quintessential picks. Very, very good on the character. Can't wait to see how it's deployed up there.
Get into a lot of lanes as well. Especially because he just has that range harass early on into melee champions. It's really good. And then into squishier champions, you can go in on the engage, knock people into the wall, and it especially plays well with the way No Org like to play very aggressively. Once you hit 6, you can, if you are good, and Viper is, teleport in and be able to use Meganar to great effect. So as a result, I'm interested to see what EGP are pulling at.
We do get a Sylas in the mid lane, I guess. How does that work? Where's this Zoe going?
It's probably Sylas top.
Sylas top, you're absolutely right.
Though I'd really like to see Zoe top. It'd be garbage, but
I had a heart attack, but you've saved me by thinking through the matter calmly while I freak out, and that's what you're here for. So yes, Sylas will go to the top lane versus that Gnar. I am interested to see what Surti pulls out there. We assume it will be Zoe here in mid. That is not a Victor, it is a Malzahar.
guys, click the champions you want to play.
They look similar, Matt. They
How?
have staff, they have magic, they play mid.
Malzahar doesn't have a staff. He's purple.
He does like a, it could be a
He's
staff.
Grimace as a magician. How do you confuse him with
true.
Victor?
I never thought about that, but you're right. Okay, Malzahar is interesting because it gives denial, and it will reject a lot of the entries here, and it means that this Galio is indeed a support. Fire will be picking up the Malzahar, presumably. Galio will be roaming around the map in the hands of Big.
I think Malzahar's a really good pick here. The only thing I worry about is that it's also a great pick for the side of Evil Geniuses, just because you have Sylas able to steal it away. that nether grass is great picks. But there are definitely better ultimates to steal, like the hero's entrance. So, we'll see how it goes coming out into the later stages. I think Victor is really great for 5-fire because you can just scale up and become a massive just game bully. There's lane bullies and then they evolve into game bullies, and that's 5-fire. You're taking your lunch money.
And I'm going to be interested to see what he can do with the hero. No org. I think don't have anything to prove at this point. They've won the last big SGC tournament. Get it? Because it was Big League. That was the name.
Oh, nice.
They've come into this pretty darn near undefeated. And I don't know if, like, EG are supposed to be the next best team. They are the other team that has won an SGC tournament this year. 5-fire, of course, is the defending cup champion. He won it last year with Anu, the team that NoOrg formerly was signed to. So they basically have everything in their corner to be the defending champions in any way you would like to define it. Evil Geniuses got blown out of game one. We need to see a major shift in momentum to change things around here.
I really want to track more than anything, though, and I said it in game one. I'm more interested in the growth of these players than I am the players' current positions. Because, as Ido said in my little mini interview with him, NoOrg has drafted for these incredibly strong players like 5-fire, like Anda, like Viper, who can just smash through the current amateur. Ido prefers the method of developmental scouting, and as a result, I'm not expecting EGP to be coming in and just slamming through these games. I am expecting them, though, to grow throughout the season, and maybe we see them in the ends of the split, towards the playoffs, towards the end of the tournament.
Well, I mean, that is one of the things, and we're going to see this more and more as more and more of our LCS teams have amateur teams proper. These teams aren't necessarily designed to win tournaments, as weird as that sounds, right? You're not necessarily drafting them to come out on top of Cup. You're drafting them to, in 3 years, have talent that they've built for your academy and pro teams. Producer Joe! I don't recall.
See, the Doritos! The Dorito fingers!
I got it. I thought we were just playing third-person League of Legends for a moment.
No. He has delicious, delicious hands.
Joe, what flavor are those? We'll get the answer. He'll get back to us, I'm sure of it.
Definitely not Cool Ranch. Those ones are different.
It's a different color. We do see Tomio starting things off and being invaded instantly. That is very, very quick presence inside the jungle, and I believe our production tried to correct Tomio's name, which I understand, but they put it on the wrong side.
They're just trying to confuse us, TJ. We're better than this. You can't do this to us, Joe.
Right.
Whoa!
Joe, you can't keep up with us. Also, you can't keep up with this bot lane pressure from EG. Shiro starts things off with a bang.
That was really good. Big just over-aggressed a little bit there, and Shiro and Mist, to their credit, were great in response, picking up an early kill. This is a lot more what we wanted to see from EG, especially now that Shiro has Ezreal, who, as of late with the new build, has become a lot more aggressive. You get that Essence Reaver, you get that Dustblade, and you just one-shot people.
So, and worth noting, started this game with an invade on the Olaf. That was one of the things I was really excited to see from the Olaf is Olaf has a super quick clear speed. If the big takeaway from game number one was, man, EG's Tomio in the jungle sure is a real scary jungler, then the shift is Anda is trying to match that, Anda is trying to disrupt that, Anda is trying to keep pace with that.
Back in the mid lane, there's a gank about to happen there. And looking towards it instead really wants to go for that Scuttle Crab, but that's a huge rotate coming up from the bottom lane of EGP. Really happy with what they've been able to accomplish here in this early game, because that was where we were worried about them the most. This is where we were like, yeah, NoOrg really fly in this early game. They're going to be able to crush you down. And that was what we saw in game number one, but this time, seems like EGP are the ones forcing NoOrg onto the back foot.
EGP successfully able to get something started in the bottom lane. You may have noticed that Anda's early invade does not appear to have hampered the CS lead. So, Anda will turn their attention towards ganking for Viper, something they consistently do during this early game. So, Surti, I was indicating, should be expecting this, and is real ready on the flash.
What fast fingers, TJ. Delicious.
Those ones
I've called fingers delicious twice tonight. I think I have a problem.
I don't want to know what you're into, Matt.
Chicken tenders. That's what.
Oh. Some people
Tomio coming in for a gank here.
Flash.
Oh, flash bear slap. Not quite going to be able to find him. Oh, the happy bear. The BM.
2 consecutive flashes burned in the top side, though. The fact that Viper doesn't have his will deny at least some playmaking up there. Across the map, of course, EG are still holding their own down in that bottom lane, and that was something I felt we were missing during game 1.
I don't like this scrap here in the top lane, TJ, but Surti really does. Able to find 1 kill up there. Viper has to hop away. As a result, Tomio will not be able to finish that kill, so 1 for 1.
Okay, so I'll touch on that in a second. I do want to address this is what I felt EG were missing during game 1, and that is why it is being punished. TP into the back lines. Here comes Viper.
Shiro has to get away from this. The hyper is going to slow him down, and Shiro just dies. Nobody turns down onto Value, and Value, as a result, lives. 2 kills go down in favor of No Org, and it feels like EGP have just lost their early game lead.
And that is exactly what they needed to do. Because the bottom lane is where EG want to build their game from. It is through Shiro, it is through getting him out ahead and playing to him with the jungle presence. And here you see, okay, sure, we died in the top side, but Viper is now free to just TP into lane and clean this up. They got over-aggressive, and he's right before the Drake as well, which means that immediately after EG lose their players, they also lose this first Cloud Drake. No Org able to grab it.
I was really proud of, and still am proud of, EGP for being able to get so far into this early game, but things are slowly falling apart off that 1 play. I guess that's pretty quick, TJ. If I say it's off 1 play, I feel like that implies a rapidity.
6-minute mark, Matt? Are we grading on a scale here? Is this one of the...
yeah, over the grand scheme of the game, I feel like a 40-second long gank is a long time for them to turn the game. But they have turned it.
You're the cool professor that's like, everyone had trouble on this test, so I bumped you all up.
For the teachers I had, or everyone had trouble on this test, you should do better. It's like, cool. Thank you, Professor.
Shiro is pressing real forward again, unabated in their aggression, and I think that's something to keep an eye on. If EG continue to press their advantages in playstyle, because, again, Value, as you may have noticed, is alone in this lane. That is an opportunity to exploit.
Shiro trying to, but True Shot Barrage does go wide. It would have put down a lot of damage onto Value, though.
And in the meantime, has been a little bit behind in the jungle, so now shows up here in mid. Aspect knows what's coming, but he can't stop it. Fire lands the ult, and here comes Anda. A desperate attempt from Aspect will be denied. Fire finds the kill.
Surti comes in with the teleport, finds the stun off the back of it, finds an answering kill. No less. Anda falls down 0-2 now. This is 1 teleport each for the top laners, both finding their own kills.
Important for EG to keep that trading, even doubly important that that trading continues to shut down Anda, because Anda is again a key win condition for No Org. So this is something to track here, as Anda's now 0 for 2, and you can see that really affecting the farm game between, I always just call them Medios again, Tomio and Anda.
Yeah, and I think the Udyr pick was a true great choice here, because that allows you to keep up with the pacing of both the farming and the ganking of the Olaf, whereas I feel like last game there was too much focus on just the farming, and the Hecarim was not keeping up in ganking. This time, much better job here from Tomio. Ooh, Surti misses the slice and dice over the wall. That's rough.
We'll lose, let's say, half
Almost
the HP. A little bit over.
Oh, 100%.
Viper underneath the
stun!
door will be stunned out. 30 survives. Will be chased by the dawning shadow. Does manage to slip away.
Beautiful gameplay there. What a gamer, TJ. Surdy in the top lane, able to survive all that was thrown at him.
Surdy in the top lane, quote, what a gamer.
That's going to go on his player card.
Do we have stats cards that can just say, what a gamer?
We will after the end of this. We will next week.
Shout out to our poor graphic designer, who will have to make that happen.
Who's also running the stream right now.
Who's
Could just kill our feed.
Made the logo for no org. They didn't have a logo because they have no org, appropriately enough. Value's alone here in the bot lane right now because the rest of the team roams. And I'm really excited to see EG starting to punish that. Saying, hey, we can just walk under and kill this center, and they are absolutely right. Free kill, extra gold passed over to their AD carry as well. This is Shiro finally starting to benefit from the lane mismatch.
Aspect in trouble as well. Here comes the taunt. Lands easily. Nethergrass will land as well. Easy kill here in the mid lane. Aspect falls down to 5 fire. 2-0-0 now on this Malzahar.
So that's the problem, right? Because sure, Value is alone in lane, but this is why. And so the question is how much value, if you'll pardon it, is no org finding across the rest of the map to sacrifice their bot lane? So far, the answer is absolutely enough. They get a kill in the mid lane, they get plates in the mid lane, they trade turret for turret in the top side. This is working out pretty well for no org.
Surdy forced the flash there away from the tower. True shot barrage. Beautiful tracking there, production.
Oh!
Hey! Anda loses like 4 HP. Worth.
I mean, it would have done a lot of damage if it had hit Viper. Viper was like 1 HP if it hit him.
Okay, yeah. I can see that, sure. But to the point you were earlier making, I agree with you. It really is about who's going to be able to carry harder. Is it going to be Shiro and Tomio, or is it going to be 5 Fire and Viper? That's really the question where we have to be asking ourselves at this point. And so far, we haven't been able to tell. I think in terms of later game scaling, Tomio's going to fall off a cliff. Udyr doesn't really scale that great in terms of damage.
Well, I mean, neither does Olaf, so we do have a little bit of that going around. I would also say that EG do have kind of a record of being real good in the team fights. So a lot of the conversation we were having during game number 1 was, can they last till the team fights? I dare say they've done it. I know it's a little premature, but I think they've gotten to the point where they can take even team fights for the next couple of minutes. And that is what they failed to do during game number 1. So I'm hoping that we see EG get to force some around a major objective in the next coming period.
I agree with you, TJ, but the problem that I'm seeing right now is that they've lost both the dragons already. It's 12 minutes in. They've lost 2 dragons so far. They don't have any control over the map, and this is a really bad trend to keep going. They're going to risk Soul Point next dragon if they can't catch up. If they can't force a team fight by that point, they're pretty much out of the game.
Aspect. We'll be just sitting here in the mid lane receiving pressure. Their turret is the only one of the tier 1s that is, I think, important right now, because it does, of course, unlock the rest of the map. So you could see how no org during game number 1. Thanks,
Hey!
Doc! You can see how no org during game number 1 got the mid turret, and it just ended the game because they took that across the entire rest of the map, unfolded it. So pay attention here. I do expect to see no org pressuring Aspect in the coming moments and trying to get at this mid turret, unlocking the map.
Thank you to Doc for our honorary 30. He's a gamer.
Could you say it like the
there.
EA man?
Yeah. 30. He's a gamer.
That's beautiful, man. That's what that is. Brought a tear to my eye. If they need a new presidential poet, next time there's an inauguration.
That's for me. Got it.
Taunt will land, supportal combat happening here in the mid lane, and missed. It's a little over eager. They are outnumbered here in this mid lane. Oh, that's too far.
Nether grasp. That was a big nether grasp. That was long arms on the Malzahar.
Fire said hello as he popped out of the blink. locked him in at close range. And here come Norgs, exactly as I talked about, trying to focus in on this mid turret, and they chain down Mist. Will find the kill. Sleep does land, but Big will survive. And I don't think that Paddle Star lands. 5 Fire staying millimeters ahead of it. Such good movement from the mid laner from Noorg. And this is working across the map, actually.
Mm-hmm. This is what you have to worry about every time you go against Noorg. Every single little advantage you make, they will answer it in kind and find one more on top. And that is what EGP are running against right now. Aspect, Dawning Shadow, down.
Beautifully played. And exactly like I said, Noorg focus on that mid turret. It is the key to unlocking the map, guaranteeing they get that soul, guaranteeing they can threaten for the Baron in a couple of moments. And once it's down, it's really, really hard for EG to mount a defense of this bot lane turret, so you can basically rise it off eventually. And I'm gonna put my flag down. I'm gonna put my Demacian standard in the dirt, man.
Okay. With what?
I can drag myself to it in a moment. EG need to win the fight around the Drake or Rift Herald, whichever comes first.
Okay. I agree with that entirely. They need to find something, and the only places that Noorg are going to be willing to fight is around that dragon.
Pops the ulti.
30. Just getting bullied.
Viper drops the thumbs up and just walks away. You blinked, mate.
Viper is an incredibly strong top laner, and he knows it. And it leads to a lot of BM moments like that, especially the Vayne picks as well. But at the very least, Viper's on a regular old top laner this time.
Playing the Gnar, which he is really good at, to be fair. This is a masterclass in Gnar. Viper just, flash in!
Dead.
He's got the kill. That is disgusting.
3, 2, 1, Surdy is done. Dragon spawning in just a few seconds as well. 50 left on the clock. Should be able to poke down this tower a little bit, keep themselves in this area. And it looks like at the same time, while they're securing Drake, Rift Herald's being taken in the top side by the same team. Something's gone wrong here.
This is, I'm hearing that I can recast my Demacian standard now.
Okay.
This is EG's problem. It's over if they don't find something like right now. And they know it, I think. They're trying to get something in this mid lane, trying to find enough map pressure that they can at least fight for this Drake. But of course, the Rift Herald's now in the hands of Anders, so I would go so far as to say the Drake is a pretty foregone conclusion.
5 Fire and Viper on respective opposite flanks. Shiro gets stunned. Doesn't jump over the wall just yet, but blows the kill. In the middle of the fight, that is a dead jungler. Shiro trying to run away from a Ragnarok Olaf. It's not going to work for the time being. Stuck out of the fight, Mist gets chased down. 4 members still remaining for EGP, but Noorg have all 5 up left. Like we said before, this is the deciding factor for if EGP stay in the game.
How do you win this 4v5? It was difficult enough 5v5, and they're so split. You can see the communication's kind of gone here on EG. Surdy all alone. Some poke happening over the wall. Aspect did land asleep. Dawning Shadow will chunk Shiro so very low. 300 HP. Drake will be secured, as are the kills. Shiro manages to get a wall, and Value chases. What is that damage? Say hello to mid-game Senna. Noorg have 3 Drakes. The Rift Herald not spent. And they are ready to close this game out.
Yeah, this isn't a fasting Senna, folks. This is just a regular old AD carry Senna with that Kraken Slayer. She really slaps now. Was really worried in the beginning of the season because AD carry Senna just was not happening. There was no item combination that didn't suck for her. But now that the Kraken Slayer changes have come down, it really is a great itemization for her, and she's finding a ton of damage.
All right.
We just saw.
Tomio stands on a ward. It's not great, but does find the stun, and Mist is coming.
TP from the side.
Fighting for Value. That's going to be very low HP on Value. Here's S-Back round this side, but he can't find anything. Big interrupts him. Another grasp as well, and the CC is layered perfectly. EG yet again are shut down as they desperately try and throw a Hail Mary. And a 5v5 down here towards the bot side. There's that Rift Herald, and here is Noorg looking for a very clean 2-0.
So this fight was real messy from the start. Shiro, like you said, got chunked out immediately, and that was essentially the end of the fight already for EGP, because that is their only damage dealer in the middle of fights. Value finds his way over the wall, takes down Shiro, quickly takes down Aspect as well, and that just kind of ends the game, slowly. The inhibitor will be saved by Surdy in the live pip in the bottom left, but the rest of this fight was really disastrous. They look for a re-engage as well, but it just doesn't really turn into anything because Viper's there. Teleport comes in afterwards, but it's not enough because the entirety of No Org are still here and still ready to fight.
Yeah, and you can see just the complete denial of those two entries. It's a big taunt from Big, appropriately enough, and immediately there's a follow-up of the Nether Grasp deployed to stop the engage from the Zoe. Really, really heads-up play. And No Org, you know, we touched on it in the beginning of the day. They are the expected favorites, I think, in Cup overall. Just talking to some of our analysts before the game, I think they all pretty much agreed they expect No Org to win a repeat performance for Fivefire, who is, of course, the Challengers Uprising Season 1 champion. And this is making a statement. Nether Grasp will burn down Tomio. True Shot chunks him low, but there's nothing that can be done. Fivefire is actually very low.
He's alive!
Nordic shadows across the map. Fivefire survives by the magic shield from the heroic entrance. That is disgusting. Mist interrupted the heroic entrance, but did not save his teammates, who have died at the rest of the map. And this is going to be just one player left for EG as Surdy witnesses his teammates' corpses.
That was rough there for EGP. Just fight after fight after fight has gone wrong for them now. And the one time they think they have Fivefire, he goes down to what I'm sure is single digits of HP in that last play. It allows now...
I can tell you exactly what single digit it was.
What's that, TJ?
1!
What?
It was so very low. You could not see his HP. It was just the... it was just the magic shield. I'm sure Joe will give us a zoom in, because producer Joe's smurfing. So yeah, Tomio messes up. It gets an axe chucked at him, but it's okay, because that true shot landed, and Aspect's it on the flank. There it is. It's the shield from the Dawning Shadow, but he gets hit again. He has to flash away, and he's on like 1 HP there. That is disgusting.
It's the Leandri's burn being stopped by the shielding from Hero's entrance. That's what saves him. That is what was between Fivefire and death.
And by that, I think you mean not even close.
Of course, Fivefire was in control the whole time. Didn't mean to imply anything otherwise. 6-0-5 for Fivefire, 7-0-3 for Viper. Just dominant performances from both the solo laners here. And even Values come back into the game.
I want to stress something. You may be noticing that Aspect's like really struggling here. He's 0-6 right now. That isn't an Aspect problem. He hasn't played a great game here, but that is what happens to people that play against Fivefire. He consistently demolishes lane. That is what he does. That is his playstyle. He's going to be big, he's going to be flashy, he's going to be in the mid lane getting kill after kill. So I can't wait to see what happens when we see him get more chances against the Academy mid laners. I don't really know what that's about.
Tomio? Tomio, buddy. What a cap for this game, TJ, because that's certainly going to guarantee the death. The Zhonya's under the tower for Aspect will not be enough to save them. Fivefire with the Nether Grasp earlier. Real hard counter into the Zoe. This will be the final fight of the game. No Org try and push it in. There's the stun into the wall, the taunt to follow it up. It's a very, very dead alligator. He's now someone's purse. There's No Org. Push for the end, and we'll be securing a quick 2-0 over EGP, and guaranteeing that they are going to be the team to watch for Challengers Uprising Season 2.